Now I'm going to show you how to do a softcover book. So you would find softcover books. Oh, this is what a softcover book looks like. Pretty self-explanatory. Then you would go in here and you see all these sticky things. So I'm going to grab, kind of just test it out. Grab one, look at it. That one's not open. Grab one, look at it. The way they are designed is that the middle of the book would go in the middle of here, so it wouldn't be that you can just go like this. It always has to be oriented this way. So this is a relatively good size. We always want to make sure we have plenty of space below and to the side. About 4 of these are good, but you can never go wrong with 5. So there's also in the middle of this a sticker, kind of see that? It pulls out. So that's kind of the center of where you want to put your book. I'm going to put about 5 in the center. Make sure there's 5 on the side too. And then I'm going to roll this out a little bit more and then cut just along this grid right here. And then you can put this back. Now we have everything we need, which is scissors, sticky cover, our book, and this is what we call a bone. It's made out of bone, and we use this to help smooth the plastic onto the book. So I like sometimes when it gets really sticky and all over the place just to place some stuff on top to keep it out of my way until I need it. So I'll just do about that. And then the first thing I always do is pull out this middle part. Take that, put it to the side. Now I'm going to take my book and I'm going to orient it in about the middle. Nothing has to be perfect, but about the middle of the top and the bottom. And you kind of place it right there. Later we will make sure it's flat, but it's not too important to make sure the spine is flat at this moment. So now I'm going to take out this and this so I can get back my sticky, and then I'm kind of just going to let the book drop to the side. So now I really know where it can come out. I know where my book wants to be oriented, so now I like to pull the book towards me so that I have a better visual of how it looks. So first, I'm going to kind of bring it to the edge of the table, that way I have more space with my hand. I'm going to pull it from the middle and kind of smooth it. So you're kind of going, again, I said this in the other video, but I trust my hands more than anything else, although the bone can be very helpful. So I'm kind of feeling for all the bumps and lumps, and I'm pushing them out to each side. So you kind of just feel it out. Okay. And then once you're happy with getting all of the air out, you can actually start placing from the actual top and bottom of the book. So the first thing I do is establish a corner. Establishing this corner will help you keep the plastic in line for the rest of it. So I typically will push my hand like this onto this so that I can push back and go like this to establish at least that crease in the plastic. And now, very importantly, we're actually going to start covering the rest of it. So I grab from this side, I grab this hand, and I start pulling the plastic little by little. You never want to just willy-nilly pull all the plastic off because you will have a very hard time with very sticky things. So first you start pulling this part back with your hand. I'm going to switch hands so I can use my dominant hand with the bone. Just try to do it like this. So as I pull it little by little, I'm taking the bone and I'm slowly pressing down. So I want to make sure there's no bubbles. So every time I see a bubble, I'm just going to press out. And then you're kind of moving little by little so that if you pull it out all the way, it'll get much harder to get those bubbles out later. So I'm pushing just slowly. take your time. As you do it more often, you'll get more comfortable with it. For the first time especially, and then once you're done, pull it all back. So now we have to address all of this extra sticky stuff. So what we end up doing is making triangles on each side and then folding them in. So I'll take my lovely scissors and I'm gonna cut from about the middle of from the middle of the book out. So I'm gonna cut about here. I'm going to cut to the corner of the book. Get close, not too close, but get close. You don't want to have a bunch of extra, and then I kind of just get rid of this. Whenever I take out random pieces, I typically will tape it to each other because it will stick to everything. At least this way, I'm not really worrying about it. I can just go like that. Oh, so clean up at the end, but we'll do that after. Same thing with this side. I go from about the middle. It doesn't exactly have to match this point. You can go so it's kind of looks like a trapezoid, less like a triangle, but it's the same idea. So I'm gonna start cutting. Get close. If you mess up and you're a little too out, just go again. It's very forgiving when so I would go always cut less so then you have time to cut more. And then when you're done, same thing. Put that over there. Now is our first folding. So now we have our lovely trapezoid on this side. So we're gonna start by just folding. Make sure you're not folding it to the actual pages, just the cover. And you're gonna fold, again, make a corner. So this is exactly what we did with the spine of the book. You're gonna make this corner. And establish the corner first, that way you don't have a bunch of extra plastic, and then you can go back. You can go back and pull it back up so that you can get out all of your bubbles. Same thing with the thing. Slow, and you get it. That way you fold the book, there's no extra plastic on the sides here, and you can't tell that it would be folded on this side. And for this side, for the tops and bottoms, you are going to cut exactly like you just did, and do the exact same thing. And this is why it was so important to leave so much room by the end, so that you would have enough plastic to fold over. That way you wouldn't have extra corners on the sides. So now, half of a book is covered. This is a completed softcover book.